Can't imagine, Abigail, how I felt, how any of us felt when we returned to Ziklag and found it in ruins and our families gone, taken captive by the Amalekites. We despaired of ever seeing you again.
And how do you think I felt, David? Have you ever been a woman and taken captive by an enemy to be made a slave?
Oh, hardly. I can only imagine how you must have felt.
It would have been worse than death.
It's so wonderful to have you back again and safe.
And I thought I'd never see you again. The Amalekites were getting so drunk that there was no telling what they might have done to us.
But we arrived and rescued you just in time.
Thanks be to God.
Yes, the Lord has blessed us again. Now, back home to Ziklag, even though there's nothing but ashes remaining.
Hard work will rebuild the house, and love will make it a place of happiness and joy.
How's the reconstruction going, Joab?
Beginning to shape up, David, sir.
How long do you think it'll take?
Just a few days, sir.
Well, dear, the place is beginning to look like a city again. It's surprising what can be done in 3 days when one's heart is in it.
Thanks to you, David.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I had an interesting conversation with one of your soldiers while you were away, and I found out...
Yes? Well, who was it?
I believe his name was Zahira.
Zahira? What did he want?
Well, he came shortly after... Good morning.
Good morning. Is David here?
No, but I expect him back within the hour. Would you care to wait?
No. I'm just on my way home after purchasing this lumber. I'd better get on and be about my building. I just thought I'd stop and say thank you to David. Tell him I was here, will you?
Why, I'd be happy to.
Oh, and tell him thanks for dividing the spoils of war as he did. Otherwise, I'd have had nothing with which to rebuild my home. Nothing.
Well, of course I shall tell him, but... Well, aren't the spoils of war always divided among the soldiers? David was merely following the custom. Is any special thanks due to him?
Oh, hasn't he told you? When we were pursuing the troops who'd stolen our families, our march was so rapid that many of us became too exhausted to travel further. So at the brook Besor, everybody threw down his pack, taking only the necessary equipment. The rest of the equipment was left there. And those of us who were too tired or ill to keep up the pace stayed behind and guarded the extra stuff.
You were one of the ill ones?
Yes. And when the others returned in triumph, some wanted the spoils divided only among those who rescued the prisoners. Then I'd have had my family, yes, but nothing with which to build or repair a home for them.
But now you can build?
Yes, for David insisted that every soldier have an equal share. God bless that righteous man. Please give him my sincere thanks.
So as I said, David, thanks to you. And also, David, you're everywhere at once, encouraging and helping and suggesting. Well, you're the push behind the cleaning up and rebuilding of Ziklag.
You're just prejudiced in my favor.
I do love you, if that's what you mean.
That's exactly what I mean, Abigail. Oh, it's my fault that we got into this mess in the first place. So why shouldn't I do all I can to repair the damage? Oh, don't look at me like that. It is my fault. If I had trusted God as I should have, I'd never have gone to the Philistines for protection and asylum. And we wouldn't be trying to rebuild a burned city. Instead...
Uncle David, sir, this man wishes to see you.
Oh, thank you, Joab. And you needn't bow yourself to the ground in obeisance. I'm not a king or a prince. Arise and state your mission.
I am come with a message of great importance, Your Grace.
Where do you come from?
Well, I am a soldier in the army of Israel. I have but 2 days ago escaped out of the camp of Israel.
How's the battle against the Philistines going?
We lost the battle, sir. The people of Israel have fled from the towns and cities on both sides of the Jordan River. The king's army is no more, for his soldiers have fallen and dead. And King Saul and Prince Jonathan are dead also.
Prince Jonathan is dead?
Yes, sir. Oh, so is the king. Here, sir, are his crown and jeweled bracelets.
How How can you be sure that the king and the prince are dead?
Well, sir, by chance I happened upon Mount Gilead and beheld King Saul had been hit by a swift-flying arrow and had fallen upon his spear. He was severely wounded, yet the chariots and horsemen of the Philistines followed hard after him.
Go on.
Well, sir, when King Saul looked behind him and saw me, he said unto me, Come here, young man. And I went unto the king. Then he said to me, Who are you? And I answered and said, I am a stranger, an Amalekite. Then the king said, Fall upon me, I pray thee, and slay me, for anguish has come upon me, because I am still alive, and the Philistines are hard after me, and will capture and torture me. Then I obeyed his command, and stood upon him, and slew him, for I knew he could not live. Then did I take the crown from his head, and the bracelets from his arm, and have brought them hither unto my lord.
And David and all of the men of Ziklag rent their clothes, and mourned and wept, and fasted until even for Saul, and for Jonathan his son, and for the people of Israel.
Joab, send for the young man who gave us the news of King Saul and Prince Jonathan. You said that you slew King Saul at his command?
That is correct, sir.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm the son of a stranger, an Amalekite.
You're acquainted with the laws of Israel?
I am, sir.
Then you know the law. Why were you not afraid to stretch forth your hand to destroy Saul, the anointed of God? Sergeant, come here. You're an Amalekite, and by your own admission, you're acquainted with the Israelite laws.
Yes, sir. And I know when one does an Israelite a favor, he will be rewarded. I've killed your enemy. I've brought you valuable possessions of the one I slew. Do I not, by Israelite laws and systems, get paid for these things?
By your own admission, you've committed a crime for which, by the law of Israel, you're guilty of high treason, for laying hands upon and slaying an anointed of God. Thy blood be upon thine own head, for thy mouth hath testified against thee, saying, I have slain the Lord's anointed. The penalty is death.
And David lamented with this lamentation over Saul and over Jonathan his son.
The beauty of Israel is slain. The mighty is fallen. From the blood of the slain, from the fat of the mighty, the bow of Jonathan turned not back. The sword of Saul returned not empty. The mighty is fallen. The mighty is fallen in the midst of battle. O Jonathan, thou wast slain in thy high places. My brother Jonathan, very pleasant hast thou been to me. Thy love to me was wonderful and strong. The mighty is fallen.